Now that we're done with the back taper, we can move on to the side taper. We're going to start off with our NST outliners and create our first guideline. Now that we're done bottoming them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and use the corners to create our second guideline. We're also going to use the lever midway and all the way close to help us erase that initial guideline we created with our trimmers. Moving on to our one guard all the way open, we're going to use the lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Moving on to our 1.5 guard, this is going to help us blend into our silhouette. We're now going to start by blending out the beard. We're going to start off with our no guard all the way open and flick out as much as possible. When blending out the beard, you want to think of it as a reverse fade, so now we're moving on to our one guard all the way open and moving our way down. We're then going to use our 1.5 guard to flick out as much as possible and blend into the bulk of the beard. Moving on to our NST outliners, we're going to line up the back of the beard. You also want to make sure not to press too hard here because you could bite them with the teeth of the trimmers. Moving on to the back lineup, I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. Always make sure to use your opposite hand to move the ear out of the way so you don't bite them with the teeth of the trimmers. Now moving on to our C-cups, we're also going to start off at the bottom and work our way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. You also want to make sure not to press too hard here because you could bite him and irritate the skin. Moving on to the bottom of the beard, I'm going to use my comb to make sure the hair is nice and laid down, and we're going to start off at the middle and work our way to the sides. Now that we're done lining up the beard, we can move on to the Turkish razor and Derby premium blade to make them as crispy as possible. But before we do that, we're going to make sure we apply some shave gel so that the razor could glide better. We're also going to apply a hot towel to make the follicles a little bit softer and that the blade could glide better. When using a razor, you always want to stretch the skin with your opposite hand and keep it at a 45-degree angle. This will lower the likelihood of you cutting someone.